Alright, good afternoon and welcome to my channel. This is just a quick gear review of the Vivobarefoot Tracker boots. So these are the Tracker FG. These are basically hiking boots or kind of like winter boots. And I've worn these a lot. I've had them for maybe about 2 years now. And I've worn them in the snow, in the mud, in some cold conditions, and just around the city as well as my like everyday winter shoes. So from wearing them a lot, I've worn down the sole a decent amount. So as you can see right here, the tread is basically gone and the tread is gone here as well. But yeah, that's to be expected. I'm happy that there's no hole in the sole yet, so I'm quite happy with that actually. And I walk quite a lot in these. So, you know, a lot of walking just in the city especially, but also hiking, and there's no hole yet. So one issue, I would say one of the biggest issues with these shoes is that they don't have great grip. So if you look at the tread, it's not very like deep, it's not very grippy compared to other hiking boots. These are not going to have a lot of grip. I've been fine in them, but I've noticed that in the snow, you're quite slippery, in the mud, you're slippery, like it's not great tread. So that is one of the issues I have with these boots. I've used these in the snow hiking and they've been fine. I've used gaiters with them to keep snow out from going in the shoes if I'm in deep snow. I've also used micro spikes on them, which is fine. You do feel the micro spikes a bit on the bottom of the shoe because they are barefoot shoes and like, you know, you can really feel stuff with these shoes. I've also used snowshoes with them and that's been fine. But again, you do kind of feel the snowshoe a bit more on the foot. But it's all right. And yeah, I would say that obviously you do feel a lot of the rocks with these shoes, but they're a bit more comfortable than some of the other Vivobarefoot shoes in terms of feeling the rocky ground, especially if you keep the insole. I mean, the insole doesn't make a huge difference. The insole makes a difference for warmth though, because it has like some kind of foil in it, which, you know, metal foil, which basically reflects the heat and keeps heat inside your shoe from your foot. So I would keep that insole in if it's cold. Otherwise I kind of take it out just for a bit more of a barefoot feel to the shoe, I guess. But yeah, I would say in the cold you do really feel the cold from the ground, especially if you're not moving around a lot. I do find that your feet get quite cold just because there's not a lot of, you know, there's not a lot of boot between, you know, the snow or the cold ground and your foot. So you really do lose a lot of heat to the ground because of that. So I wouldn't use them in like crazy cold conditions unless you're like moving all the time. You know, if you're hiking you'd be fine, but if you're going to stand around in the snow, your feet will definitely get cold. So I've used these a lot in the rain as well, and they're basically completely waterproof when you first get them. Obviously if you step in a really deep puddle up here, if it gets really wet, then it can get wet through here, but this part of the shoe is very nice and waterproof. The leather is good and waterproof. After a while that waterproofing goes away, but that's the same with any kind of leather product. And yeah, after a while, kind of at first the water just slides off, but then it starts soaking up after a long time. And one thing you can do to prevent that is put wax. There's certain kinds of leather like boot wax that you can put on shoes to retain the waterproofness. So you can try that. It doesn't bring it back 100%, I wouldn't say, but yeah, you should always clean the shoe before you put the wax on as well. Yeah, so I've done that, and yeah, I think the shoes look really nice as well. It's a nice like sleek design. I find them just incredibly comfortable. I really would rate these in terms of comfortability as being like probably the most comfortable shoes that I have. So I really just like wearing them, you know, every day in the city, and I wear them in Vancouver and in London a bit, and it rains a lot, and you know, this is good for just walking around in the rain a bit and stepping through puddles and stuff. So yeah, those are the main points. Oh, another thing I would mention is that your feet will kind of overheat in these shoes if it's not really cold out. So wearing these in like, you know, kind of warm temperatures, and especially like in hot temperatures, I mean, your feet are going to sweat a lot in these. I don't like that. Especially with like wool socks on or something, your feet will get really sweaty and stinky in these shoes because they're just not breathable at all. So I definitely keep that in mind. Only really wear these in a certain kind of temperature range where like it's cold, but it's not like crazy cold, and it's also not like too warm that your feet are sweating too much. So the temperatures I wear these in are like down to like -5 Celsius maybe, that kind of thing, and you know, up to like 10 degrees, 15 degrees Celsius. Beyond that, I mean 15 degrees Celsius, your feet are sweating, at least for me. So yeah, I would say they're good, comfortable boots. They'll last you quite a long time, and yeah, the grip is not good, the waterproof value is pretty good, and they're good in the snow, they're good for hiking. But yeah, except for the grip and except for standing around for a long time, feet will get cold. So yeah, that's my review of the Vivobarefoot hiking boots. I think they're also kind of overpriced. They've increased the price like every year, it seems. When I bought these, they were a lot cheaper, I think. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. Not a fan of how much they cost. But yeah, if you like this video, please do subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna have lots more gear review videos like this. And I have videos, hiking videos on the Arizona Trail and pretty soon on the Continental Divide Trail. So subscribe to the channel if you're interested in this kind of stuff, and see you guys in the next video.